Small separation on a Fernco connection. Should be the building connection located outside. Filled up the bottom of the pipe. Appears to be possible start of a belly at 31 feet. Another belly. And here's the city tap and the city main. No breaks, no root intrusion. Small grease buildup in conjunction with two bellies in the pipe. Foundation wall is what's called the building connection. That's where the plumbers will stub out the pipe from the inside to the outside. Okay. And then either the plumbers or the sewer contractor will hook the sewer up from that said stub and carry it over to the city sewer. There's a small gap. I mean, probably about an inch or so where the sewer contractors didn't make the pipe all the way up to the face of this pipe that's stubbed out outside the wall, but it's not shifted or dropped. So it was probably that way from day one when it was installed.
Okay.
So right here, we're looking inside the city sewer right now.
Wow.
So there's the tap for the said city sewer.
Okay.
And this is your PVC. There are two bellies in that pipe. One's a little bit more pronounced than the other one.
What does that mean?
Basically, the sewer has a dip in it. That can take place from one of two things or in conjunction with both. The first thing would be improper amount of gravel support underneath the pipe that allowed it to drop a little bit.
So is that a problem, or?
Well, what happens is the water will always make it through, but sometimes the solids can get left behind, and they settle inside that pocket of water, and then just over a period of time, it can just get to the consistency of oatmeal, and it'll clog the pipe. The good news is, with the sewer being so short, that's working to your advantage versus if the sewer was at like 100 foot.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're getting enough momentum of water to be able to push through.
Push past those bellies.
Correct.
Okay.
Because the two sags that are current inside this line have zero waste
Oh, good.
build up in it. It's all pretty much just affluent water. So.
Well, this house is 20 years old.
Gotcha.
I didn't know if they built the house on old sewer pipes or what. So
Well,
that's why we wanted to do this.
Yeah, this one here, it looks like they had taken out the existing sewer, unless the house that was here prior to had already replaced said sewer.
Doubt it, yeah.
Which, exactly, I would doubt it as well. So, so this is the drop. So you're kind of on like a 22-degree angle dropping into that city sewer.
Okay.
So right here is where we come out of the water at that dive.
Okay.
So if you watch, the camera will become like a submarine.
Yeah.
And see how we go underwater. Now, mind you, my camera head is about the size of a quarter. Maybe a little bit less than a quarter, and then I have a skid on it. So I'm actually elevated off the bottom of the pipe, say about an inch, inch and a quarter.
Okay.
So the water's holding well above my camera head and the skid. So all in all, this portion here is probably holding a little over half the pipe. So, but usually if the belly's fully loaded, you wouldn't see the water stirring around or anything like that. You would actually see solid waste as I'm pulling the camera back.
So it's good that we're seeing this.
Yeah, for a belly. I mean, it's never good that we see a belly, but, you know, if we do, I want to know how clean that water is, you know, or if it's collecting a lot of solids. So this one, you know, this one's longer than the first one. The first one is almost kind of a moot point. It's just almost damn near to the point where the pipe's just sitting a little flat. It hasn't quite done the hot dog yet, versus this one, it's fully dipped. So this one here, I'd probably say this belly is holding about 90% water at all time, full pipe, almost.
What does that mean?
Basically, the water that's holding in the pipe, sir, which would be like this diameter,
Yeah.
it would be holding, you know, 90%. It's
Mostly
all
full.
Yes, correct.
Is that good?
So we were at
Well,
we were at 55 feet, okay, where we came out, where we were out of the water. So this right here is grease buildup. This white stuff that's on the edges, that can always be cleaned. You know, that's, you know, a moot point. You can either jet it or whatever you choose to do. So that second sag that's predominantly holding almost full pipe is about 12 foot in length.
What's it cost to have something like that clean?
If you want to hydrojet it, it'd probably run you $200 or $300, and it would probably be something you would want to do once a year.
Okay.
When you have a sag like that, you definitely want to stay away from a lot of your thicker toilet papers like Charmin,
They hate
you know,
Charmin. Plumbers hate Charmin.
things of that nature.
It's good for us, but bad for
Really?
So here's your second one. So right here at this there's a coupling right here. You can kind of see the seam where the pipes join together. So that's at 40 foot. So as we come back, you can once again kind of see how we're starting to go back underwater again. But this one here is nowhere near like
short.
what the yes.
It's a short valley. The other's a longer valley.
And it holds more water, as obviously you can see this one does not.
Yeah.
So this one here would be almost predominantly kind of flat with
So
little
what
fall.
happens if one of those bellies did become clogged and you started to have an issue or back up? What would it cost to have something like that
They just
flushed out?
Yeah, because you don't have an outside clean out, so you're a wall exit sewer. So when the sewer backs up, you're going to notice it upstairs via, say, your toilets will start gurgling. You may notice water backing up into the shower or a bathtub.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, this is the check valve for the grinder pump. This is serving the washing machine, the floor drain, and if there's another bathroom or anything down here that's in one of those back bedrooms, that's what this grinder pump is serving because it's lower and your sewer's leaving higher.
Oh, I see.
So this pump pumps that water up and into the sewer. So your worst case scenario would be you built up so much back pressure that this check valve flap here would blow out, and then during a backup it would start to fill up the pit and then overflow. So, but the check valve's designed to hold water from coming back and only allows one direction of flow.
Okay.
But that would be your worst case scenario.
If you pay attention to these things, every once in a while, they won't back up. So it's preventative.
Right.
So suggestion right now, anything?
The only thing that I would do is probably put it on a jet maintenance. The cable, it does all right on certain sags, but it never clears them 100%. So the jetter would be your only best bet in order to try to get it all gone in one fell swoop.
That's
It's high pressure water
That cleans
that cleans the sewer.
$200.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
This is the separation I was talking to you about. So this pipe right here is the one that's stubbed out from here. So it passes and goes right through the foundation wall. This pipe right here is the actual sewer. This connection here would be the building connection. So this pipe would typically be mated and sit flush permanent, right up to the face of the plumber. Because the plumber that did it didn't see the pipe didn't push it all the way in. Because this black piece right here is that rubber coupling that looks similar to this, except it's going to be bigger. And that's what you're seeing right there. Now, do understand the camera always blows it up and makes it look a little bit bigger than what it typically is. So to you, that looks like a mile long, especially when you go and you push into it like that. That looks probably about an inch and a half, when in reality it may only be like 3/4 of an inch.
Okay.
But it's showing no signs of any movement or dropping or anything like that.
It's not possible that it was once seated and that it shifted away.
I highly doubt it, because they would have had to have some way, somehow, under a lot of duress and force, would have had to have yanked on that line to be able to pull that out. Well, that's next to impossible, because you got a connection here and then you're connected at the tap, so there's no way for that line to move backwards.
Okay.
So that was just probably, done that way from the get-go. Somebody may have been in a rush or whatever and just didn't seat it all the way in.
Okay.
So, but the good news is at least it's not showing any signs of movement. See how you can kind of see the wall of the pipe? So that should be sitting flush with this. So how long, it may stay like that for another 30 or 40 years. There's no way for me to tell you if anything's going to happen further on down the road. As far as the bellies are concerned, there's only one way that you would be able to get rid of the sag. You would actually have to dig it up, cut the pipe out, put a fresh good bed of gravel in, and then relay the pipe. That would be the only way that you would be able to do it. So other than that, that's about it. So I would say just, I would do it as a